I started working with Pat 9 months ago, and the amount of change that's happened internally that has shown externally is quite impressive. And the changes are probably subtle, but when I reflect on just how far I've come as an individual over the last 9 months, it is a great change. I think it's somewhat hard for me to see all of it in its fullest just because I'm in it every day. But when I started working with Pat at the beginning of the year, the focus was on my business. We had just made a big pivot for 2024, changed how we were doing things, cleaned house with our employees, a lot of our sales reps, and the goal for 2024 was to match the same amount of revenue volume that we had done in the year prior, but with about half of the people. Fast forward to now, just 2 weeks ago, we actually exceeded our 2024 numbers with about half, a little less than half of the people. As a business, that's insane. That seemed like such a tall task, not impossible, but definitely questions of, how are we going to actually accomplish this at the beginning of the year? I think Pat has contributed in a way that he helped me just stay clear in my own thoughts, be aware of what was going on, really lean into me as the year went on and progressed, and as we made those changes and as we worked on those goals and focused on those goals. Aside from that, 2024 has been a life-changing year in many aspects, but a lot of personal change has also happened that I think very easily could have derailed all of that success, derailed all of that growth, progression, realizations, all of those things as I worked through those personal changes. Just looking back at the year and thinking back on the year and the highs and the lows and the changes, just Pat helping me really love me and get to know me a little bit more. Not even a little bit more, a lot more. I've become so much more aware of myself, of how I function, what helps me. I've been able to recognize more so when, things are out of line for myself as a person, which has helped me execute in personal ways, in business ways, all sorts of ways. I can look back on 2024 and very easily say that this is the most dialed year that I think I've had personally, from all aspects, from relationships with people to physical well-being to just even taking care of myself as a human being. And that's been a big change this year. Is I don't think I ever really took time to get to know me and really understand me and think about how I truly think about myself, feel about myself, be proud of myself, those types of things. But when I reflect back on the year, the reason I'm proud of myself and I'm able to say those things is just because I was able to work through such difficult times and create success and create a world that I'm very, very happy in. And I don't think that would have happened without Pat. I wouldn't have been able to have those realizations. I wouldn't have known myself to that degree. I wouldn't have handled adversity in the way that I did. I think family, friends, close friends, a lot of them say this is the happiest that they've ever seen me is these last probably 6 months, which is wild because just with the change and the things that I've had to work through, the limiting beliefs, the internal dialogue that exists inside my own head, to really go through and dive into that and really understand that. It's crazy how contrasting my feelings are towards myself to what those thoughts are or have been, and how good I really do feel. But again, I don't think I ever would have reached this place if I hadn't had someone like Pat to kind of walk me through and be there and make sure that, I was staying in check and asking the right questions and helping me recognize things that had always been there, but that I was just never aware of. But thinking back, 2024 has easily been the most difficult year of my life thus far. The degree of difficulty is one that I personally never want to visit again. I don't want to feel the things that I had to feel this year. But with that, for how low that was and how I feel now, and reflecting, like, I am incredibly proud of myself for just being there for myself and working through that, improving and becoming better. And to feel how I feel now about life, about me, about business, the passion I have, the clarity I have on what I want to be doing is awesome. It really is amazing and something to be proud of. So while 2024 comes to an end and we've made a ton of progress and stuff, and it was hard, it's one that I'll forever be grateful for, and grateful that I had, Pat, the Freedom Mastery Program, to help me get through a lot of these things and just handle it the way that I did. I don't think many people would have taken the hand that I was dealt and handled it the way that I did and ended up on this other side. And that's not everybody. There's a lot that would have, but I think it was an incredible feat, and I'm excited to continue to build. I feel like the foundational work's been laid, and it gives me a lot of excitement for just continuing to grow, continuing to get to know myself a little bit better, and continuing to build upon these realizations, this new relationship I have with myself moving forward.